Chef Randy with you again. This is our third knife skills test that you're going to have to take. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this for you. I want to really emphasize that it's important that you practice. Okay, you got 2 weeks between classes, so get you a cheap cutting board and go buy some potatoes and practice. Okay, if you don't practice, you're not going to do well. This next test is both the easiest and the hardest. And I'll tell you why. Because the first two skills are fine Julienne and fine Brunoise. Now, fine Julienne, the measurements are 1/16 by 1/16 by 2 inches. Fine Brunoise is 1/16 of an inch cubed. As I said before, you're blessed with an instructor that is nearly blind. So, for fine Brunoise and fine Julienne, you know how you cut it? Small. As small as you can. And I'll show you how. By the way, get a measuring device. It can be a 12-inch or it could be a 6-inch. A 6-inch is all you need. So, this isn't very expensive. Go ahead and buy a ruler. Okay? You may already have one. Bring it. Okay? So, making sure that we're sharp here. To make Julienne, we're still that first cut is the 2-inch cut. And at the base of my knife, I put it, let me get my glasses. I put it right here, the cutting edge on the end of the potato. And then I back up my fingers about a 1/4 inch, which is the size of what? A McDonald's French fry. Boom. Is that 2 inches? Let's see. On the money. On the money, baby. It's not a parlor trick, it's easy, okay? Square it off. Again, we don't want to cut like that, long way down. Pick the short route, okay? And so, when I'm thinking about a 1/16 of an inch, it's 1/2 of an eighth, right? So if this is an eighth, if that's a matchstick, a 1/2 a matchstick, man, that's thin. You know, get a bite on it. Just put your yeah. It needs to be fine. You know, I'm not gonna notice. Why? I'm blind. I told you I'm blind. If I see that you cut it as fine as you could, that's what I'm asking for, okay? That's not good. Oh, hell. As fine as you can. Okay. Guess it's enough. No. These aren't perfect. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I can work with them. And again, as fine as you can. Is that a 1/16 of an inch? I don't know. Who cares? It's small. That's all I want it to be. Right? So that's why it's the easiest, yeah? So this is fine Julienne. That's pretty fine. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. There might be some flat pieces in there. Okay. So then I'm going to gather these. It's like herding cats. Okay, and I'm going to start doing some really fine cross cuts of the fine Julienne. Wow, that's fine. Look at that. That's really fine. Fine Julienne, fine Brunoise. Get it as fine as you can. Okay, that's all I'm asking. The next cut, here's where it gets hard, ladies and gentlemen. The next cut is a medium dice. So if a small dice is a 1/4 inch cube, what is a medium dice? 1/2 inch cube. And what is a 1/2 inch? A 1/2 inch would be 2 French fries, or 2 1/4 inches, right? And that's how I approach it when I'm coming to the thing, you know. Because sometimes I don't have time to use a measuring device, so I have what it looks like in my mind's eye. That's for sure. Because I know I've eaten a lot of McDonald's French fries. I know what they look like. Okay. So I'm going to take. That's a French fry. That's a French fry. Oof. That's better. Better stop. So, again, 1/2 a French fry. I'm sorry. That's a French fry. That's a French fry. That's a French fry. That's a French fry. And then the same on the cross cuts. French fry, French fry. Those are terrible. Which only goes to show I'm not measuring them, so you know I should be seeing perfect cubes and I'm not. Okay, this is horrible. You get the idea? But take time. I do that on purpose to show you that it's important that you measure. All right. And I'll be emailing you. Don't worry about how much of this I need. It's not going to be a big deal. This doesn't matter. Why is this harder and the next one harder? Because it's easier to see the imperfections. They're bigger, right? That's why they're harder. They're more difficult to do. The next one is a large dice. A large dice is 3/4 of an inch. All right, that would be 3 bâtonnets or 3 French fries. So again, and that's again how I approach it. So 1, 2. Let me just make a little cut there. That's about right. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. It should be a perfect square. One, 2, 3. Oh Lord. 1, 2, 3. What's the matter with you, Cheramie? Okay. I might ask you to do 4 of those, at least 6 of this, a heaping tablespoon of this, and at least this many fine Julienne. Fine Julienne, fine Brunoise, medium dice, large dice. the easiest and the hardest. Let me get rid of all this. The last thing you'll have to do is mince parsley. It really should be one of the mise en place cuts and everything. It is used a lot. I know some chefs that will make their people do this. I'll pay you $12, $14 an hour to do that. It'll be silly. The tops of them are kind of, the top stems are kind of tender and tasty. So why not use them, all right? So I just, all right. Then I gather them. In my hands, make a ball, yeah? Put it on the cutting board, and I rock and roll. Notice that the knife does not leave the board, okay? Getting close on this, bro? Rocking and rolling. Gather in the back, keep that claw so that you don't cut your fingers. And then you put your one hand here, one hand here. Now, how fine do we want it? Believe it or not, I know some chefs that like their minced parsley as fine as sand or sugar granules. I don't go that far, but I like it fine too, though. And it's a constant thing of bringing it to the middle and then wiping off your knife, okay? For service time in my restaurant, I wanted 2 half gallons of this. You notice what happens, it starts to clump because you're bringing out the moisture. We're going to take care of that. Some people would take 2 knives and do it like this. Okay, I could go on for another couple of minutes. Again, for time's sake, this is good enough. I'd like it at least this fine. When you do it, you're gonna cut off a piece of cheesecloth. I'm gonna put it in the center. And you're gonna gather it. And then you can do this under running water. I'll do this and I'll squeeze it and it'll turn to water green. That's the chlorophyll that's coming out of it. Yeah. It also gets any extra loose dust particles or sand particles that, because they do grow in a sandy kind of soil. Look how green the water is. Then I'm gonna really wring it out as best I can. Why do that? Well, what happens is that when you do that, look at that, there's no more clumps. They're dry, and then when you come to put them on a plate, you get good plate coverage. Okay, you don't see any clumps. It's kind of more appealing to the eye. Okay, so those are the 5 knife skills that you will be tested on for your 3rd knife skills test. Please, please, please practice. I'll see you again soon.